Just the other day, I found myself thinking, you know what we really need? A Clayface movie. Just nothing more, just Clayface. Now, don't get me wrong, Clayface is a great villain. Um, but I think we've seen within the past standalone movies, featuring characters that, Madam Web, Morbius, Craven. When you take characters that people like, but no one they like no one was clamoring for a Madam Web movie. But for DC, you've got Penguin with Colin Farrell, apparently doing well because it's a well-known liked character. But Clayface, can we really make it Clayface? I don't see that happening. Again, Clayface is cool. And if all of you want to go see a Clayface movie, that's on you. That's your right. That's perfectly fine to do. I'm just saying I don't think it worked very well. Looking at what we've seen in the past with other characters that people normally aren't clamoring for, I see a trend that the movie just doesn't do well. So I'm just observing I've noticed in the past and putting it into the present, and I've noticed that a standalone movie, it normally doesn't work out, not well at all. But that's my opinion. They're like assholes. Everyone's got one. But my opinion is no one's clamoring for a Clayface movie. Anyway. Warner Brothers and DC are actively developing a movie based on DC villain Clayface, creating yet another Batman property that doesn't feature Batman. This move comes after the success of Max's original series, The Penguin, which starred Colin Farrell and was set in the world of DC's feature film, The Batman. The Batman. The Penguin received ton of critical praise and mainstream attention for its bold. Adam, you all right there, bub? He's like, I'm fine, Grandpa. You needn't worry. Adam, you want to come say hi to everyone? Come here. He's like, no, Grandpa, I want to clean. I want to. It was like a grittier, more urban version of The Sopranos. Unfortunately, Warner Brothers seems to have, once again, learned the wrong lesson from this win. Much like the success of The Dark Knight led to the overly gritty and dark Snyderverse, the Bugs Bunny studio has apparently decided that people want more Batman properties, but don't necessarily have to see Batman in them. Yeah, Clayface. Recent history wouldn't support that. Yeah. DC has a modest success with show Gotham, which explored the Batman before the Batman world before Batman ever existed. The company followed this up with forgettable misses like Pennyworth, Titans, and Gotham Knights, all of which featured Batman characters with no Caped Crusader present. Titans showed Bruce Wayne, but he wasn't a main character. Clayface will be written by Dr. Sleep filmmaker Mike Flanagan, according to sources close to the production. While nothing yet is known about the plot, reports indicate that filming will begin early next year. The Batman director Matt Reeves and Lynn Harris will produce through their company's Six and Idaho Productions. Clayface's character that's never been touched on in a live-action Batman movie. True. And again, he's a cool character, but again, was anyone waking up in the morning like, oh man, I could sure use a Clayface movie right about now. I've got a itch that needs to be scratched. I've got a fever, and the only prescription is a Clayface movie. I don't think anyone wanted it. So instead of giving us characters that freaking Scarecrow, give us Scarecrow. Like people like Scarecrow, and especially with the Nolan movies, You know, you had what, Cillian Murphy, great, perfect, and yet you never get to really see him. Like Scarecrow is like one of the coolest characters, and yet he was severely underutilized. And then he comes back in what, the third movie, oh, the one with Bane, as like this judge of, you know, and it's like, what? Oh, no, 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 he came back. He was in all three of them, actually. He was in Dark Knight, like in the very beginning, with you have all the Batman imposters, and he's like, look what your thing did to my men. You know, with the gas and all that. So yeah, he was like all three movies, but he only had like this small role in every single one of them. And it's a shame. You know, Scarecrow's a really cool character. Um, so maybe Scarecrow would be great. Uh, I mean, you had a Harley movie. Why not have Poison Ivy? Poison Ivy's a really cool character. You know, very recognizable, very loved. But like Clayface? What about Darkseid? We have a Darkseid movie? That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I had to check the baby. But yeah, Darkseid would be cool. I mean, if even if it's just like we don't see anyone from the DC universe having a Darkseid movie would be awesome. Like he's a character people would like to watch. But Clayface, I again, that's just my opinion. I don't think people want a Clayface movie. Um, never touched on a Batman. The villain is a down on his luck actor who mutates into a sludge monster that can change the shape at will. Many believe Clayface will be a fantastic addition to a Batman movie. It's odd that DC and Warner Brothers would decide the best way to go about bringing him in is outside a traditional, yeah. Instead of having him like introduced first in a Batman movie and then like, oh wow, he was the response to him was a success. We should make a spin-off movie about. No, they're just like, oh hey, here's the movie first, and if it does well, maybe we might have him fight Batman. The character was a regular in Batman Rogues Gallery in the classic cartoon Batman, the animated series. Yeah, he was like all the time. And was even the final boss in the video game Batman Arkham Asylum. The standalone Clayface movie was first pitched by Flanagan in 2023. He tweeted back in 2021 that he was really keen to do a standalone Clayface movie as a horror thriller tragedy. Now, like horror thriller, I mean, he's definitely got the body for the horror thriller part, the things that he could do to a human being, because of his, you know, being able to morph and shape himself and all that is insane. Uh, but I, again, if it had like a cameo from, you know, Batman or something, you could hype it up with that. But again, was anyone else expecting or wanting a Clayface movie? It's like Craven or Madam Web or Morbius or, you know, whatever. It's like these characters are great when they're put with, you know, main characters. Like, you know, for him, it'd be great with Batman. Or, you know, like I said with Craven, he's fought Spider-Man before, he's fought Wolverine before. Why not? But nope, nope, just standalone. No big name in there, just Craven. Craven the Hunter. So if this was a movie where, you know, Batman's in it and it's like this big epic battle, uh, that'd be great. That'd be great. But I don't see it working out very well. I might be enticed to check it out. We'll see. Nope, zero interest in a standalone villain movie. You know, there are some villains, like I said, like, you know, Darkseid would be a really, really cool one. Lex Luthor would be a really, really cool one. These are recognizable villains that people love. Characters that people would be interested in seeing. Penguin did just fine. Joker, you know, the Joker is perfectly fine. We've seen him work out. Um, Harley, again, she got her own movies. So you have like Poison Ivy, is a great character. Um, I mean, Mr. Freeze, the whole thing with him and his wife, and maybe it could be like where they could show Mrs. Freeze. I mean, so they have so many people to choose from, and they choose Clayface. It's. I mean, how about Deathstroke? I mean, I would love to watch a Deathstroke movie. That'd be cool because Deathstroke's amazing. But to take a character like Clayface and try to make a standalone movie, he doesn't have a huge following. Like again, people like him, but he's not on the same level as say the Joker or Darkseid or Penguin or any one of those villains or Scarecrow. Even Scarecrow. So if they want to make a movie based on Clayface, they're gonna have to add something more than just Clayface. They're gonna have to add some other recognizable DC either hero or villain in there because again, it's just my opinion. And like assholes, everyone's got one. So before everyone just starts, oh my god, John, you have the worst takes of all time. You should just delete. It's my opinion. If you like Clayface, great, great, that's super. It's just my opinion, and you shouldn't get very mad about some nobody on the internet who's voicing his opinion. So anyway, yeah, if this happens, it happens. Uh, Again, so many other great characters that they could choose from, and they always pick the most boring ones. Not to say he's boring, but I don't think it'd be enough to keep you enthralled for what, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Unlike say something like Darkseid or Poison Ivy, or again having a Mr. Freeze, Mrs. Freeze combo movie. Mrs. Freeze was only in the comics. I would love to see Mrs. Freeze, live action. That would be really, really cool. Oh, John, you funny fucker, you. Um, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Bye.